Ciao friends, it's Liz from SimpleItalianCooking.com. I'm so glad you're here today because I've got a really great side dish for you that's really healthy, as long as you don't mind olive oil. All right, so this recipe is using cabbage, and it's a great way to use up your cabbage. It's very, very simple. All you need is some garlic. I'm just going to do a single clove of garlic. Normally I would do more, but I'm going to cut back today. I'm just kind of in that mood. So maybe 2 cloves of garlic. And you're going to need some extra virgin olive oil. So the extra virgin olive oil, you're really only going to need, I would say, depending on how much cabbage you use, because we're going to shred it, I'm going to put in just a few tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons. The quantities I'm going to give you, you need to adjust as you see fit if you're going to have more or less. So, and then we're going to need some oregano. So I just have some dried oregano here. And again, this comes down to how much flavor you like. So I will probably be putting in about a tablespoon or so. And I'm not going to make a ton. This is a really big head of cabbage. And I just want to do enough here for this recipe to show you how it's done. So I'm going to manually, I'm not the best at cutting cabbage, so I'm going to take about, it's a big one, so between a third, maybe a little bit more. Oh, and before I forget, if you enjoy Italian cooking and you like easy Italian recipes, I really encourage you to hit the like button and to subscribe. We'll get you more recipes as we come out regularly with them, and it just really helps us. Well, I'm all about easy Italian, simple Italian. That's why my website's Simple Italian Cooking. All right, so let's see. That is definitely not enough. I'm going to have some more. Yeah, that's good, I think. Yes, simple Italian cooking is the best Italian cooking. It doesn't need to be complicated to have amazing, easy dishes. I do not have any culinary background or training, and I just like to share easy Italian recipes that, you know, I've been using for years. Maybe some from the family, some I've created. So these are about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch thin in width. And then I cut them crosswise. So they're about this size. And that works really well. And before I proceed any further, and you can follow along with me, you know, grab some olive oil, cabbage, and oregano and garlic, and you'll have a side dish by the time this video is done. All right, so let's turn on my induction burner. And I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. That should be good. And you know, it's really funny because some people love a lot of olive oil and some people don't. I love olive oil, a lot of it. My husband, the opposite. My mother-in-law loves it. So, you know, you gotta adjust as you see fit. And there is no wrong or right. If you don't like a lot of garlic, cut back on the garlic. Nobody is going to tell you that you're wrong. And if they do, well, they're wrong, because why make something a certain way that you don't care for it that way? Doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're wanting to do an authentic, traditional, this is how it's done, then fine, you know, that's great. But I mean, do you really think centuries ago that Italians and families had little family cookbooks that they kept? No, it was just you use what you have on hand and you modify it, you know, get creative. All right, so once you're done chopping up your cabbage, move that aside. Olive oil, I can tell, is now nice and hot. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to crush the garlic. So I'm not going to actually dice it. I'm going to actually crush it and just use it, you know, really big chopped pieces. And the reason why I'm doing that for this one is because I don't want the garlic to be too overpowering. I want it to season the olive oil. I think mincing it would be too strong for this recipe. But that's not to say the next time that I make this, I might decide to dice it finely because I might be really in that, that garlic mood. So when you add the garlic into the olive oil, you really want it to saute on over low heat, low medium heat, really, for about 3 minutes until it starts getting really fragrant. And you don't want the garlic to burn, but you do want it to cook so it, again, flavors that olive oil, because then as that olive oil coats everything else, it transfers that slight garlic flavor. So a little tip for you there. And I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Once the garlic starts sizzling, then you know it's really getting really close to being ready. You don't want to burn the garlic. If you burn the garlic, you're going to have to toss it out. So I'm just curious how many cups I actually have here. So I'm going to grab a measuring cup and we'll figure this out. I'm going to say it's about 2 cups. Okay, so this is about 3 cups of shredded cabbage. Cabbage is really healthy for you, especially raw. Oh, my garlic is sizzling. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in. I need a good ladle here, or spatula. Okay. And as you'll see, I am kind of turning the cabbage because I want everything to be coated with that olive oil. Minutes for this to cook down. And put a lid on it. And let it steam and settle down. Now, how long you want it to steam, again, I hate to say it, but it comes down to personal preference. I like my cabbage with a little bit of crunch. I've had it both ways. So if you like your cabbage with a little bit of crunch, just keep an eye on it and then take it out. If you like it really limp and just not crisp, crunchy, then you're going to want to put it in for a few more minutes. Okay, so let's set that. I'm going to set my timer for a few minutes. And while that is cooking down, go ahead and clean up. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, it's been about 6 minutes and I am just checking it, giving it a stir. I recommend you do the same. And I'm going to cover it again. Sit in for a few more minutes. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes and you can probably hear it sizzling. And it is exactly how I love it, so I'm going to turn it down because I don't want to overcook it. And now is when we add in the oregano. So I'm going to put in about a tablespoon. Mix it up and see how much, because it's going to vary depending on how much cabbage you're using and how much of oregano flavor. Now, I like oregano, and I wish you could smell this, but you can if you make it yourself, and I really hope you do. I mean, it's just a great, I'm going to eat this just plain, you know? And I'm just going to let that cook so that the dried oregano just has a chance to kind of soften a little bit. I think I'll cover it for a minute, and then we'll be ready. Okay, so our cabbage and oregano side dish is done, and it is delicious. I tested it, and it is very, very good. So I'm going to just have this as a part of my lunch. But a few things I want to mention, some variations that you can do. So I really want you to know that you have the freedom and the creativity to modify this dish as you wish. And there are a few things you can do. You can try adding other herbs in here. I like to keep mine very simple. But if you want to try adding in some other herbs like parsley, or some people maybe do thyme, that's kind of popular in some Italian recipes. I like mine just simple. You can even do it without any seasonings. You can do it with, it'd be really good with breadcrumbs. Toasted breadcrumbs would be really good in here too. And so that's another variation. And let's see what else. You know what? You could put in a dash of like lemon, just a spritz to just give it a little bit of brightness there. I mean, that would be good too. There's so many different things you can do. So let me know in the comments, like how you make your own, because, as Italians, we love to talk about food, and people who love Italian food, even if you're not Italian. It's so fun to talk about these recipes. So I just want to thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe, support us. That really, really helps. And sign up for my newsletter. I send out recipes straight to your inbox. And again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Grazie e ciao.